Listen up, folks, because what I am about to tell you is nothing short of monumental. Caitlin Clark just did something that's going to shake the very foundation of women's sports as we know it. I'm talking about shattering every golf record in existence. Yes, every single one, and the numbers are so staggering, so mind-blowingly insane that the LPGA is practically begging her to come back. We're talking about a 599.1% increase in viewership. That's not just a jump, that's a seismic shift, a tidal wave of interest that's rewriting the playbook on women's sports. And here's the kicker. While the LPGA is rolling out the red carpet, giving her a hero's welcome, what's the WNBA doing? Nothing. They're still acting like Caitlin Clark is just another player. Just another face in the crowd. But let me tell you something, this one golf appearance just exposed the biggest mistake in women's sports history. It's a blunder so colossal, so devastating, it's going to change the game forever. By the end of this discussion, you're going to see the numbers, the facts, and the truth so clearly that you'll wonder, how did we miss this? How did we overlook what's really happening here? Trust me, once you see the data, once you understand the magnitude of what Caitlin Clark just achieved, you cannot unsee the reality that's unfolding right in front of our eyes. All right, let me break this down because these numbers are mind-blowing. Last year, the entire Annika Pro-Am got just 395 TV segments. That's for the whole event. Caitlin Clark shows up for one day, not even playing competitively, just a Pro-Am, and generates 2,693 posts on X alone. That's right, in a single day. Engagement, 241,000 interactions, impressions, 18 million eyeballs in one day. The tournament's Instagram exploded by 5,181% compared to last year. Their website traffic jumped 11%. The LPGA immediately saw the gold mine in front of them. They recognized what they had and said, we need more of this. Meanwhile, the WNBA, they spent an entire season acting like Caitlin was just part of the background, just another face in the crowd. That's a monumental mistake, a missed opportunity, and it's changing the game forever. Did you catch that frustration in his voice? Because this pattern, nobody wants to acknowledge it, is glaring. Every league that touches Caitlin Clark experiences the same phenomenon. Record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas, social media explosions. Yet the WNBA, they're the only ones acting like it's not happening, refusing to recognize her impact. And here's what that really signals. It's no longer about ignorance. It's a deliberate choice. Think about the psychology behind this. When someone brings unprecedented success to your league or organization, the natural instinct is gratitude and to protect that valuable asset. But when you actively diminish that person's influence, that's ego, that's insecurity, that's fear. Fear that admitting her dominance might somehow weaken others or threaten the status quo. The LPGA, they saw Caitlin for just one day and immediately began planning for a long-term partnership. They mentioned Steph Curry, YouTube golf, smart, strategic moves. They understand that crossover stars don't hurt their sport. They elevate it. That's real leadership, and the WNBA needs to wake up. This is where things get truly revealing. He calls out Angel Reese, who's shouting, "Me too," yet she can't boost ratings without Caitlin. Then there's Paige Buchers, despite being heavily promoted as a superstar, drawing the third lowest attendance in the league. These aren't isolated examples. They expose the WNBA's entire strategy crumbling in real time. For years, the league has been trying to manufacture multiple stars to avoid overdependence on one player. On paper, that sounds reasonable. But star power isn't something you can create artificially. You can't force fans to care about a player just because the league says so. Ultimately, the market makes that decision, and it's made it clear. Caitlin Clark's impact is enormous. Her influence is so profound that even in a completely different sport, golf, her presence results in triple-digit percentage spikes in viewership and engagement. And the timing? It's no coincidence. Her appearance on the golf course came right after the WNBA season wrapped up. Caitlin could have taken a break, but instead she shows up, and suddenly the entire sports world is paying attention. That's not luck, that's gravitational pull. Listen closely to how he phrases this. It might no longer be just a joke. No WNBA. That's becoming a real possibility more people are starting to consider. And if you've been paying attention, you'll understand why. The LPGA just demonstrated something powerful. They can offer Caitlin what the WNBA refuses to: respect, recognition, and genuine appreciation. I'm not saying Caitlin will leave basketball to become a professional golfer, but here's the point. When you're the most marketable athlete in women's sports, and one league dismisses you as a problem while another embraces you as a solution, it sparks conversations. Options start being explored. The WNBA is playing a risky game, believing Caitlin needs them more than they need her. But her golf appearance proved otherwise. Wherever Caitlin goes, the audience follows. She's not dependent on basketball. Basketball is dependent on her. That shift in power is undeniable, and it's reshaping the landscape of women's sports. The game is changing, and Caitlin is leading the charge. You have to notice how relaxed and natural she sounds in this moment. She's not trying to make a statement or pull off some big publicity stunt. Caitlin is simply out there playing golf with her teammates as caddies, having fun and enjoying herself. Yet somehow, this casual scene generates more buzz than most WNBA playoff games. That should be a wake-up call for WNBA leadership because it reveals something powerful. People aren't just interested in Caitlin Clark, the basketball star. They're captivated by Caitlin Clark, the person. Her authenticity, her fierce competitiveness, and her knack for turning any moment into something memorable resonate deeply. Watch how her teammates interact with her in these clips. There's real friendship and genuine support there. These are the same teammates the media tried to convince us resented her success. But when the cameras are off and the focus is on having a good time, everyone wants to be around Caitlin. Everyone wants to support her. That kind of leadership, rooted in authenticity and camaraderie, can't be faked. It's natural, and it's what truly sets her apart. Did you feel that energy? Even when Caitlin isn't hitting perfect shots, the crowd remains completely engaged. They're cheering her on, invested in every swing, every moment. This is what the WNBA fails to grasp. Caitlin's appeal isn't rooted in flawless performance. It's about authenticity, effort, and relatability. She finished tied for 36th in this Pro-Am, not in first place, not even in the top 10. And yet that failure generated more positive attention than most WNBA victories. Why? Because people connect with someone who's trying something new, who's not afraid to show vulnerability and struggle a little. That honesty makes her more compelling, not less. For decades, the WNBA has tried to position women's basketball as perfect, serious, and deserving of respect, but it's barely moved the needle. Caitlin shows up, misses some shots, laughs with her friends, and ends up breaking the internet. There's a clear lesson here about audience preferences. They crave authenticity in human moments, not perfection. The leagues need to understand that genuine connection often outweighs polished image. And Caitlin exemplifies that truth perfectly. Connect the dots here because everything converges at this point. The LPGA's response to Caitlin's appearance wasn't just a casual thank you, it was a strategic move to build a long-term partnership. They openly compared her influence to Steph Curry's impact on YouTube golf, and deliberate high-level comparison. This isn't idle chatter. It's a calculated message about the value Caitlin brings. The LPGA is signaling, we see your potential, we value your impact, and we want to grow together. It's a clear public declaration of strategic intent. Meanwhile, what has been the WNBA's messaging? Caitlin Clark wins Rookie of the Year, but the narrative quickly shifts to, she had a strong supporting cast. She breaks viewership records, but the story becomes about women's basketball rising without acknowledging who's actually driving that growth. She sells out arenas, yet the league insists fans just want good basketball, a form of gaslighting that ignores the obvious. Over time, this kind of denial erodes trust. Eventually, audiences stop believing the spin and start trusting their own eyes. What most people fail to realize is that the LPGA's embrace of Caitlin isn't just savvy marketing. It's psychological warfare against the WNBA, every article highlighting the 591% increase in engagement, every social media post celebrating record-breaking numbers, and every expression of gratitude from the LPGA is subtly sending a message to WNBA leadership. You're missing the boat. These indirect messages are a form of competitive signaling. The LPGA doesn't need to criticize the WNBA directly. Simply publishing the numbers and letting the comparisons speak for themselves does the heavy lifting. This shifts Caitlin's bargaining power in a profound way. When her next WNBA contract comes up, she's no longer just a basketball player. She's a cross-sport phenomenon with proven influence. She can generate a 591% increase in engagement wherever she goes, transforming her value from an athlete to a brand empire. The real, often unnoticed revelation here is that this golf appearance may have unintentionally exposed the WNBA's most significant vulnerability, their failure to adapt to changing audience expectations and the power of authentic, multidimensional personalities like Caitlin Clark. For years, the league has operated under the belief that they're the only destination for elite women's basketball players. Where else would they go? Overseas leagues pay well but lack the exposure and reach. The U.S. market is the gold standard, so players have generally accepted whatever the NBA offers, except Caitlin. Now, prove that assumption wrong. She has the power to generate massive American audiences in a completely different sport. If she chose to, she could create her own basketball exhibition series, partner with a streaming platform, and likely outperform regular season WNBA viewership. She doesn't need the league's infrastructure. The infrastructure needs her. When that reality sinks in, the entire negotiation dynamic shifts. That moment of realization is visible whenever Caitlin sinks that clutch putt and the crowd erupts. Not polite golf applause, but genuine excitement. People are genuinely thrilled to see her succeed at something she's not even professionally trained in. If that doesn't reveal her true magnetic appeal, what does? Over this past year, the WNBA has tried to explain Caitlin's rise. She's on a good team, she gets plenty of possessions, the marketing machine is behind her, but that golf appearance removed all those excuses. No basketball skills required, no team support, just Caitlin being authentically herself, and that authenticity is enough to generate numbers that make the LPGA's marketing team look like geniuses. What's the psychological term for this? It's authentic charisma, an innate quality you either have or you don't. It can't be learned or faked, and pretending it doesn't exist only diminishes its power. Caitlin's appeal isn't just about athletic talent. It's about her genuine presence, her relatability, and her unfiltered authenticity. That's what makes her so compelling, and why the leagues should pay close attention. Her influence exposes the limits of traditional sports marketing and reveals what audiences truly crave: real human connection. Let me share something that will fundamentally change how you see this situation. The WNBA's resistance to recognizing Caitlin's extraordinary influence isn't just about pride or politics. It's about fear of setting a dangerous precedent. If they admit that one player is responsible for most of their growth, what does that mean for everyone else's contract negotiations? What happens to the league's narrative of "we're all in this together," which has maintained the salary structure? Suddenly, you have a star who could command $10 million a year based purely on revenue, while others earn league minimum. That disrupts the league's financial balance and team chemistry. So, instead of acknowledging this reality, they've chosen to pretend that their growth is collective, but the evidence is clear. Ratings skyrocket when Caitlin plays, and they plummet when she doesn't. Her appearance at a golf tournament sparks explosive engagement. No coincidence. At some point, denying the obvious becomes more damaging than accepting it. And right now, it looks like that breaking point is approaching. You might ask, what's the end game? That's a vital question, because this isn't just about one golf tournament or one season of basketball. It's about the future of women's sports marketing. Traditionally, the model has been to build the league, hope stars emerge, and leverage collective growth. Caitlin is disrupting that entire framework. She's proving that in the social media age, one transcendent personality can elevate an entire sport. Look at what she's done for women's basketball and now for women's golf. Imagine if she decided to venture into soccer, tennis, or even launch her own YouTube channel. Every sport and platform is now wondering, how do we get Caitlin involved? This isn't just athlete power, it's cultural influence. And the WNBA is gradually realizing they may not be able to control or contain it. The landscape is shifting, and the implications could redefine women's sports for years to come. The LPGA's public stance toward Caitlin is putting intense social pressure on the WNBA. Fans are making direct comparisons. Why does golf seem to appreciate Caitlin more than basketball does? That's a damaging question, because there's no good answer. The WNBA can't claim they truly value her because their actions say otherwise. They can't argue that basketball is different, since the numbers show Caitlin's impact is even more significant in the sport. Now they find themselves in a strange position, hoping everyone will forget these comparisons, but the internet never forgets. Every time the WNBA makes a move that seems to downplay Caitlin, someone will highlight her record-breaking golf numbers. Every time they push another player as the face of the league, fans will question why they're ignoring the athlete who truly moves the needle. That golf appearance didn't just shatter records, it created a lasting benchmark that makes the WNBA's current strategy look increasingly out of touch. So what comes next? Will the league finally accept reality and start building their marketing around Caitlin? Or will they double down on the collective success narrative, risking her slipping away to other opportunities? Because after generating a staggering 5,991% increase in golf engagement, Caitlin knows her worth. The real question isn't whether she'll demand to be compensated accordingly, it's whether the WNBA is prepared to accept what that means for their future. The league's next move could determine whether Caitlin remains a transcendent force or becomes a symbol of their inability to adapt. The choice they make now will shape women's sports marketing for years to come.